Bacchus, good buddy. Isn't this a glorious fall we've been having? It's been so nice. I love it. I feel like it's just gonna go on forever. What the heck is that? Bacchus, give me this. Goddess?
Yes.
Is that you?
It is.
What month is it?
November!
It's November, kids, and this is your Cellar series description. Thanks for your help, guys. Okay, everyone. Yeah, we got a big holiday coming up. It's snowing already. You know, we're kind of having a busy month around here, but we're kind of moving into the holidays. So, yeah, November. Let's do this. It's about $150 after the discount. Some really, really classic styles here that I'm really, really liking. And, you know, mostly old world, but we've got a little bit of new world kind of flair in here. Kind of get this up. Let's start. We're going to go down to Trione. Trione is a multi-generational family estate, kind of the heart of the Alexander Valley. Kind of just before you get to kind of Geyserville there. They're right off 101. Really, really beautiful kind of old winery, you know, from the early 1900s. But yeah, it's really, really lovely what this producer has done with a few of the wines that we've been working with. And their Sauvignon Blanc was like the first one to kind of like, well, it was the first one we tasted. We were kind of like, damn, like this is a pretty good start. You know, it's a barrel fermented Sauvignon Blanc, and we've been tasting a few Cali kind of Sauvignon Blancs that have just been so clean and so fresh, like great acidity, but then there's just like this wrapped in this like robe of like spice and a little bit of texture, but nothing crazy. That makes it a little bit more serious, and I really, really like kind of that style. Like I've really been gravitating towards some of these new world, I'd say California, like well done Sauvignon Blancs, and this is absolutely one of them. So yeah, so it was two brothers, kind of Mark and Vic, that kind of really got this project going. They have about 600 acres in Sonoma, and you know, with the Russian River Valley, Alexander Valley, Sonoma Coast, and that's kind of a lot of fruit. But they sell a fair amount of that, and they kind of just keep the best of the best, and they make kind of a small amount, but of wines for themselves. So really, really lovely stuff right here. So yeah, okay. Moving on to Chablis. So Chablis and well, just about everything kind of makes me happy. That pairing always works for me. Big fan of Chablis. Bacchus is also. Yeah, so the Gauthieron is a producer that's being brought in through Charles Neal. We continue to kind of really support that profile, or that producer, that importer, and this producer with kind of a lot of enthusiasm. So we've worked with their Grand Crus, we've worked with their Premier Crus, but their Vieille Vigne, their old vine Chablis, is pretty rocking at this price point. 2021, so a vintage that has a little more freshness. Yeah, really, really great Chablis. So they own about 25 hectares of land. It's a 7th generation farming family. Stainless steel ferments going into oak for, again, like just a little bit of texture, which is really, really kind of nice. Yeah, lovely stuff. 70-year-old vines here, hard to beat. Moving on to like the very southern part of France, we're going all the way down to the Languedoc, kind of on the road to Spain, and we're in a village called Minervois. And Minervois is much more famous for their red blends, kind of spicy, kind of earthier style reds. But this is a white wine. This is all Viognier, and it's all organically farmed. You know, Domaine des Hommes. We've carried a lot of different wines from them. This is actually the second wine we've featured from them over the years in our Cellar series. Yeah, so they basically do 50% barrel, 50% stainless steel, and it kind of comes together, you know, kind of March, April after the harvest. So it's still kind of fresh and into bottle somewhat quickly, but you know, Viognier carries more spice. Like it's got more weight. It's a winter white. You know, like I love kind of moving to this this time of year where you can kind of put away all those like really racy, crisp wines that, you know, are just like hydrators in a way. Like, you know, you're at the beach, you're by the pool, and you're like, just need something to kind of like cool off. Like, this is like a bit of a robe, you know, like it's just, there's more kind of going on there, which is what we're all about going into kind of big holiday meals, so on and so forth. So, third generation farmer, there go my notes. Yeah, lovely stuff. They own about 20 hectares, all organic since 2006. Domaine des Hommes. Going up and across the Alps, you know, to the Langhe, kind of the classic hills of Barolo and Roero. This is Giacomo Grimaldi. Giacomo Grimaldi is a producer that makes really, really lovely kind of small quantities of Barolo, but they also make really, really lovely Langhe Nebbiolo. So this is coming from across the river, kind of on the other side of Alba, in kind of the hills of Roero. And it comes from this really, really amazing vineyard called Vigna Valmaggiore, which they put right on here. Nebbiolo d'Albas rarely have a vineyard designated on there, but Giacosa uses this vineyard for Langhe Nebbiolo. Like, it's a really, really good site, known by several different high-quality growers for really good Nebbiolo that's not in Barbaresco and not in Barolo. So, like, yeah, it's kind of fun that it gets kind of top billing, or it gets, kind of mentioned on the front label as a feature. So, yeah, 18 months in barrel, pretty classic stuff here. The estate was founded in 1930. In 1983, Giacomo kind of took over, and then his son Ferruccio in 1996 has been at the helm since, making really kind of detailed wines. They make less than 5,000 cases, actually closer to 4,000 cases for their total production. So they are small. They're kind of a cool feature to be able to kind of get into this month's Cellar series. So also cool wine that I'm excited about. That's like we haven't had these wines on the shelf for more than I'd say 6 months or so. Luigi Maffini, maybe a little longer, but we started off with the Fiano, like one of my favorite grape varieties in all of Italian wine is the white grape Fiano, but which is great. You should try it out. It's on our shelf. But their Aglianico, which is new to the shop, is really, really good too. Aglianico is the great grape of southern Italy. Like it really kind of is the specialty of Campania in a way. And we are south of Naples here. We are south of even like the Amalfi Coast is here called Cilento. Kind of an old, very, very old part of Italy, kind of very inspired by the Greeks, so on and so forth. Lots of kind of primary volcanic ash or volcanic soils here, plenty of volcanic ash, but really lovely kind of wine there. So started off in 1970, kind of farther, planted the first vineyards. In 1996, they started to make their first wines from those from that fruit, and they make about 2,300 cases of this guy right here. Yeah, lovely wine, all destemmed, stainless steel ferments, and then finishes up in barrel. So kind of a taste like of the wild southern Italian way, which I love very, very much. So moving all the way, like way up north, like on the road to Austria. Like we are still in Italy, but we're in the Südtirol. Kind of that very like autonomous German-speaking part of northern Italy. This is near Greece, a very old monastery winery that has been making wine since 1845, but really only bottling and releasing wines since 1989. Lagrein is the grape, like it's their thing. They make Lagrein and a Lagrein Reserva, and they age quite well. If you do a little bit of research, like they make several other wines. They have really lovely white wines as well, but Lagrein is the red grape of the region. So what does it taste like? What is Lagrein? So it is kind of this brambly, kind of blue and fresh black fruit. Lots of really primary, like blueberry and blackberry qualities to it, which when I tasted this last week with the importer, he's like, hey Pete, like it's real limited, thought of you in the feature, and also of the holiday coming up. And so we're talking about like how I think this would be a great Thanksgiving wine. I like it because it's kind of a natural pairing with like what's coming up with turkey on the table and stuffing and all that jazz. But I also like how it's not a Pinot Noir, and it's not like a Zinfandel or some of these things that you just kind of like, there's no reason in here. Like in a few weeks, come around Thanksgiving time, we're just gonna be talking about Pinot Noir and Riesling to a lot of customers. And I like trying new things with Thanksgiving dinner because like you can really throw just about anything at that meal, and like there's a pretty good chance it's gonna stick. So that is your Cellar series kind of description here. A really lovely kind of set of mostly kind of classic old world wines with a token new world buddy here. But yes, happy Thanksgiving, St. Paul. We'll see you in the shop. We hope you enjoy this feature as much as we did putting it together. So happy Thanksgiving.